Hey guys, John and Christian from Nothing But Cardboard. Gonna do a video today on mailing. My son's finally gotten into the sports, well, Pokemon, but into cards, trading cards. So I'm gonna show him some of the ropes on mailing and shipping. So even if you think you know how to do it, I've worked at the post office for 38 years, stick around because you may find something that you didn't know. So stay tuned. All right, guys, like I said, we're going to go over a video here on shipping and how to mail packages. Big thing is when you want to ship packages, you need to know ahead of time how much to charge on eBay so you don't lose money. If you post it up there and charge $3 for shipping and it costs you $12, you lost money.
Yeah.
So it's important to know ahead of time what you're mailing and the cost. I'm just going to go over a few of the basics. We've got mailing videos. If you go to NBC and you search our archives, you'll see there's several mailing videos that I break down the difference between a letter and a package and how it all works. Kind of go over some insurance and the tracking of these packages, and no tracking, as you'll see on the letter side of it. So mainly we're going to be focused on mailing single cards and two cards, the raw cards. eBay has a service that you can mail eBay letter rate.
Okay.
Cards that are $20 and under, it only charges you a stamp or 2-ounce price. And then mailing slabs, how to mail slabs, how to protect the slabs in the mail, and then a little bit about insurance. So a couple things first. There's a couple different options. Ground Advantage is usually 3 to 5 days, comes with $100 insurance. Priority Mail is 2 to 3 days. It's kind of the premier service. It's about $10. Something you'll need to know if you're mailing it is the further away you mail something, the more it costs. I mean, it makes sense, but people don't think about that. We're in Florida, so if we mailed something to California, that's zone 8. It's going to cost more than if we mailed it to Georgia or Texas or somewhere else. So you got to you can't really determine who's going to buy your package or where there's going to be, so you need to charge enough up front. Both of those come with $100 insurance automatically. So most of the cards that I sell are around $100 or under, so that covers me. If you're mailing something that's more expensive, some of the Pokemon cards that you're pulling that hopefully grade well and come back, you want to add extra insurance. John's going to do a video on the insurance. He's had some issues with USPS trying to get it approved.
Yeah, yes.
eBay has, his bubble mailer was ran over and smashed and had like grease on it, all kinds of stuff. And they're still saying, yeah, we don't think it was our fault. But the best option is to take eBay insurance. I think it's a little bit cheaper. You just tell eBay there's a problem. eBay checks with the buyer or seller, whoever the other person is. They approve it and they send you the money. So it's cheaper and it's a lot easier. So I would suggest if you need more than $100 insurance on your cards, that you do the eBay insurance instead of USPS. So you want to be able to weigh your packages. Like I said, few of the things that you'll need. This is just some of the stuff you'll need if you want to sell sports cards and you want to do it easy. I bought a thermal printer. I didn't think I would need it. The boys were like, Amazon, $100. You don't have to pay ink. You don't pay for ink. It prints right on the label. The label's sticky, so you put the label right on top of the padded envelope. I was doing regular printer before, and you have to cut it, and you got to tape it, and it's a big deal. So this is easy, cheap, and it saves so much time.
So the only thing you have to pay for is the printer itself, and then the sticky paper?
The rolls of the paper.
All right.
And the rolls of paper, I think you get like 500 or 1,000 for like $20. So they last forever. Another thing you need is a scale. Again, Amazon, it's a cheap scale, something that goes up to like 3 or 4 pounds. While I'm there, I'll just go ahead and explain. Letters are in ounces. So 1 ounce is a rate, 2 ounces a rate, 3 ounces a rate. So if you're doing raw cards, eBay letter rate, then you have to do them by ounces. If you do slabs, Ground Advantage, then it's 4 ounces, 4 to 8 ounces, 8 to a pound is all different price. Priority is up to a pound, then up to 2 pounds, and then up to 3 pounds. So you have to know what you're mailing, how much it's gonna cost you, guesstimate the zones, like I said before. So you need a scale so you can weigh your things. Package them however you're gonna package them, in the box, tape, bubble wrap, peanuts, whatever you're gonna do. Don't just weigh like a card. You need to know everything because it's gonna cost after you get it taped up, how much it's gonna cost. Regular tape. When we're doing the slabs, people like painter's tape. This is something you'll learn over time. people will put their cards inside cardboard. This helps it get not get damaged. I'm going to show how to do that. Painter's tape comes off. So the painter's tape, you can just peel it off and it comes off and you can actually reuse it.
Okay.
The regular tape, you cannot peel it off and you have to actually get a knife and cut it, and there's a chance of damaging your card or scratching it. So people just, they hate the regular tape. So get some painter's tape, regular tape that you can use, bubble if you want to cover it. Like I said, cardboard. What I do when I get a package is I'll just save a piece, I'll measure them, sit there with a knife and cut them while I'm watching football or YouTube or something, and just cut out a bunch of cardboard so that I have it and I can just tape it and you're ready to go. Instead of having to do it each time when you get an order, you already have an order ahead of time. Bubble mailers, Amazon again. I bought these at first. This is a little tip. I bought these at first, but it's hard to get a slab in there. You have to have very thin cardboard and a single slab, and it'll fit in there tight, so it's not worth it. So spend a couple extra bucks, whatever it costs the difference, to get the bigger ones. That way they just slide in there. There's more room for your label. I like to write fragile on my package and thank you or whatever, just so the post office kind of doesn't throw it so far. But yeah, buy the bigger padded mailers.
So
also,
a tip there is be nice to the postal service.
Oh yeah, be nice to your guy and the post office, and hopefully they treat your stuff right.
There you go.
Another thing is these are slab sleeves. So again, something you'll learn eventually. Slabs are just plastic and they can get scratched up. So that's a sleeve that goes over it to protect it. I get them all the time where people just stick the slab in a bubble mailer with no cardboard or anything, and you get it and it's like hit or miss if you're gonna actually not be damaged. So scale, all the different tapes. Something else you can do if you don't have a scale, you can't weigh it, or you can't have a printer and you can't print it out, you can do QR codes on there. Again, you can go to YouTube. I did a video on it in the past where you can actually go on your phone, print a QR code, take it to the post office, they'll scan it, they'll print a label for you for free. So that's something else you can do, which is nice. When I used to work, I retired, so I don't work there anymore, but I would take packages, and if they sold, I would just mail them for free while I was at work. So it made it easy.
Yeah, I don't have a printer at home personally, so I'm either coming over here to use the heated printer, or I don't know if John and Cody use it or have their own.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing the QR code and I'm going down there.
Yeah, especially if there's post office nearby, it's just easy. You just swing in there and out of there. So for me, like I said, you need to know all this before you mail your package, before you list it on eBay, because you have to tell how much it's going to cost and how much it's going to be. For me, I do slab cards. I do $5, 25 cents flat rate. So you can choose the payer to pay how much it actually costs. You can do a little bit above the rate. I just do $5.25 for every package, because you have to pay for your cardboard. You have to pay for your printer. You have to pay for the bubble mailers, your time.
Do you keep track of those things, the cost of items, and kind of spread that out across cards, or do you just hope to make that up in time?
I think you make it up because you charge, like I said. eBay gives you a discount. One of the best things about eBay is they charge us an arm and a leg to sell our products on there, which you've sold some stuff, but when you start selling cards and it's a $100 card and then they put $80 in your account, it's so aggravating.
Yeah.
But they do give us a discount on shipping, so you save $1 or $2 depending on how much it costs. So normally priority mail, like I said, it's $7-8. It goes up to 10. Ground Advantage is $5 depending on the zone. So if I charge $5.25 and I get a little bit of a discount, you don't want to make money on shipping, but you want to make sure that, like you said, you cover all of your expenses that you have, that everything you need. So I charge $5.25 flat rate whenever I mail it, unless it's going to be more than one slab. If you have a bunch of slabs, I would suggest putting them in a box, bubble wrapping them, and putting them all in there together.
So to recap so far, I've not shipped anything myself like this. I normally take it to the postman and he'll send it off for me since I was born. So to recap, you need to know what you're sending, how much it costs, insurance, all the cost of all the things you're going to use, the labels, how you're going to send it, where you're going to send it, how much it costs to send, and just keep track of all those things the whole way.
It sounds like a lot, but once you've done it a few times, it's not bad. Like I said, there's two options for what we're doing. eBay letter rate, which is just a letter. It has to be an ounce or 2 ounces. Can't be thick. There's certain sizes, which, again, like I said, it gets kind of crazy, but you can go watch the other video. You can't mail this in here. You're going to get it back, or it's going to get postage due. So there's a letter, or there's a package. A package is anything else. A package can be a bubble mailer, it could be a box. It could be, priority mail, box. So there's only two things to worry about. The weight and how far it's going affects it, but that's why I suggest a flat rate fee. Again, you don't want to make money, but you want to cover all of your expenses.
Right.
Letters, I think it's $1.25 I charge flat rate fee. It's normally, I think it's 66 cents.
You kind of just round up a little bit.
Round up a little bit because your time, like you said, if you're going just in your car with the QR code, you got to go by the post office. Right. You got to go in there and you got to wait. Usually there's a line, so you got to wait.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you how to package the cards. This is the main part of the video, but you have to know how much you're going to charge before you can do all that. So there's two. This is a regular, I think this is a 6 3/4, and this is a number 10 or 10-inch.
Okay.
So I use the 10 if I'm doing 2 raw cards.
That's the length of the envelope.
Correct. Something else that I won't get into, but it's a pet peeve of mine if you guys have seen any of my videos, there's no tracking on eBay letter rate.
Gotcha.
eBay letter rate just has a barcode. When it goes to the machine, it shows up. So eBay uses that to say, hey, this package was delivered. That just means that it went through the machine that day.
Gotcha. Okay.
And your postman is saying, hey, it's out for delivery. Sometimes it shows out for delivery or delivered, but it was just sorted, but your mailman didn't get it, and it shows up 2 or 3 days later. Right. So just know if you're mailing this is again for cards under $20 value.
Gotcha.
You don't want to do high dollar cards because you could lose them.
Okay.
So that was a little side tangent. So single cards, and the reason I do this is you don't want it sliding around in the envelope.
Yeah. If
it's uneven and it moves around, one part's thicker, then they could send it back for postage.
Gotcha.
So I put it like this, tape it. This goes in a single envelope. It doesn't slide. It all feels compact. So 2 cards is the same thing.
Kind of like bubble wrap. You want to fill the envelope or fill the package.
Correct. So it's not sliding around. Yeah. So I'll put these 2 inside. Of course, you want to make sure they put painter's tape on here so the card doesn't come out and get dinged up.
That would stink.
I'll tape those down, put tape on here, same thing. Stick it inside here. Now, eBay letter rate, when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you print the label. Some people do, they call it something else. It's not eBay letter rate, but it doesn't print a label. They just put a stamp on it and write from and to on the guy's envelope.
Gotcha.
I like eBay letter rate because at least you get the barcode to show that it's going through the system.
That helps with tracking.
Helps with the tracking, so you can actually see, okay, the post office has it. Then if I was mailing it to you and you said, hey, dude, I don't have this, you can say, well, look online. It shows the post office had it, so I did my part.
Right.
Then the issue was with the post office.
Right, I gotcha.
So again, to mail these, you just want to, this protects it. It's not much, but it makes it pretty stern, pretty firm, and it helps with the shock. You just put tape on each side, tape it down all the way around. And then, like I said, I prefer the bigger mailers because the little ones are really hard to get it into. Just slide it inside your mailer, print your thermal printer, and stick the label on top. Protects it a little bit. Again, high dollar cards, I would bubble wrap it, put it in a box.
Do the whole thing.
Send it off good.
Now, do you bubble wrap in this scenario? Do you bubble wrap the card and then put cardboard on it? Or do you bubble wrap the cardboard?
Good question. I don't, because I'm just doing $50 to $100 cards. Okay. Somebody that's doing higher dollar cards, then yeah, you're going to want to put bubble wrap, wrap it in the cardboard, do everything you can to protect it, buy the insurance. So the last little thing I'll say is security. Can't trust anybody. Christian was talking about know your mailman. I know my mailman, they have to pick it up and they have to scan it. When they scan it, it shows post office is in possession. Like I said, that releases me that I did my part. Right. The guy can say, well, it doesn't show the post office ever had it. You said you shipped it. I didn't get it. Then eBay's going to put it on you. Right. So be nice to your mailman. You can take these and put them in your mailbox. I put my flag up if they're not high dollar. If they are high dollar, then like Christian said, go to the post office, wait in line, have the guy scan it for you, put it in. That way you're covered and it's in. Return envelope. Your return name, your title that's going to print on the label. You got to be smart. People know that there's something valuable in there. They see a sports card, they might think, my Drake London rookie, they may think that it's a Mahomes
gotcha.
High dollar card.
They don't know the card, they just know there's a card possibly.
Because you put $1 million card or
whatever,
top slab or
cardboard.
Correct. So you try not to use anything that brings attention to yourself or what's inside. Just make it as plain as you can. Package it well. Get it insured if you must, just to protect yourself and the buyer as well. So that's the last tip I have. Any more questions, thoughts?
No, that was extremely thorough. I appreciate it. I haven't mailed anything yet. I got a couple Pokemon cards that I've pulled or bought, so if you haven't seen the videos, go check them out. But yeah, thank you.
No problem. It's a good refresher. A lot of people know stuff, and like I said, if you watch the video and you've shipped before, I may have said something that you're like, well, I didn't realize that doesn't have tracking, or the insurance is a pain in the butt. So we appreciate you guys watching. Leave any comments down below if you got any other questions or anything I can answer and help you out with, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, take care.